Hi children, hope you all are well and safe at home. Now right now it is very difficult for you to get your contents about the various topics and various homeworks given to you by various subject teachers of your school through email or by the WhatsApp groups or by online, whatever teaching materials are provided. Now sometimes it becomes very hard for you to search answers. Sometimes the net may be poor in your area. In that cases, you can refer to um, many reference books. So right now in my hand I have a reference book of Aryan sample. This is a class 9 science sample paper of 2020. So I can tell you to use this book as a reference book because you can get many question papers, sample question papers of previous years, and even you can get many extra questions related to the topic. You can get very easy language in this book. The languages are very easy. Many well-labeled diagrams are there, and even you can get the idea about the pattern of questions, the various type of marks divisions given in this book. Okay, so various type of question paper, ample questions, multiple choice, fill in the blanks, short question, very short time, assertion, reasoning type questions. So many things are provided to you. So it's very easy and convenient. If you have it, you can use it, and if you don't have, when the lockdown again goes on, everything becomes normalized, you can buy this Aryan book. It's good for you, and I personally use this book as a reference book for my daughter, and even I go through this book because even when I teach in my school, so I give many questions from this book. In ready-made I can get many questions, so I don't have to think about what I shall give to my students as a homework or a sample paper. Many times I prefer this book. So go through this book, and moreover now today in today's topic, class 8, the last part of the video was left, that is the threshing, irrigation, weeding, threshing, harvesting and storage. So this part I am going to deliver a short video about this crop production management's last topic. So go through it. And one more topic is small, a very small part of this topic is added in your chapter, that is animal husbandry. So here in this chapter I have not discussed about animal husbandry. In the latter part, in the latter video, I will be telling you about animal husbandry in details, because already in class 9 you are having crop improvement chapter where animal husbandry is a very vast part. So you can watch that video which I will explain in the latter part. So thank you, stay safe, and as I told you, you can use your reference books as Aryan. Okay, thank you children, bye, take care. So children, today I come here with the topics left for crop production and management. Now the topics left were irrigation, weeding, harvesting, threshing and storage. So I will be discussing about all these subtopics of the chapter one by one. So let me start with irrigation. Now what is irrigation? Irrigation means supplying water to the crop plants. This is called irrigation. Now why is irrigation required? Irrigation is required because water is very important for germination of seed, for elongation of the roots deep in the soil, and also to protect the plant from frost and hot currents. Irrigation is also involved in the absorption of water and mineral, means the minerals which are soluble get dissolved with the water after irrigation and is easily absorbed by the root hair in the plants. Now what are the various methods of irrigation? Now there are basically two methods of irrigation. The first method is traditional method, which is a age-old practice still done in many parts of our country, in remote villages and small scale farmers, they practice this traditional method of irrigation. And the modern method of irrigation is sprinkler and drip irrigation. The traditionals are moat, chain pump, Dekli and Rahat. Now you see, what are the sources of irrigation? From where does the farmers get the water? Generally, the sources are well, tank, dam, pond, lake, and irrigation canal, which is actually the canals are meant to deliver the water to the fields through these sources, from these sources. So reservoirs are this well, pond, lake, and the canals are made for delivering the water to the field. Next I will be just talking about the modern methods of irrigation in details. Now, sprinkler and drip irrigation. The sprinkler, in this system there are revolving nozzles. Now the water generally sprinkle rain water on the crops. So this system is very useful for uneven land and sandy soil. So the plants that grow in sandy soil, there the sprinkler can be used. Now drip irrigation is a method where water falls drop by drop at the position of the root. So it's an economical method because water is not wasted at all, and it can be done by the farmers in the arid places where water scarcity is very prevalent. Okay, so these are the two types of irrigation. Now one time there is much expense for laying down the pipelines throughout the field in drip irrigation, but once it is laid, the water is conserved in a large amount. Next topic is weeding. Now what do you mean by weed? Now weeding is the process of removal of unwanted, uncultivated plants from the crop field. Now what are these uncultivated and unwanted plants? Actually this type of plants generally they grow on their own by the dispersal of the seed that comes from faraway places. Now these weeds may have some medicinal value, but at that point of moment where the farmers are cultivating the crop in the field, at that moment they are weeds because they compete with the crop plant for space, for nutrients, okay, and for sunlight also. So they grow very fast and they overcrowd very fast. So they compete with the crop plant and the yield of the crop decreases. So in order to get rid of these weeds, the farmer generally uproot them. Now what are the methods of weeding? The weeding is done by two methods, either by manual method or by chemical method. Manual method can be done by uprooting by the hand or using a harrow or a trowel. I have drawn here a trowel and a harrow. These are weeding devices. Or it can be done by spraying chemicals like 2,4-D, Delaphon, Metachlor and Cyanazine. These are the very... Now see, these chemicals, the weedicides which are sprayed in the crop field to get rid of their crop from the weeds are very specific to the weeds only. They do not harm the crop. Now weedicides are very poisonous, so care should be taken by the farmer while spraying them. How the farmers take care of themselves while spraying the weedicide? That is, the farmers, they should cover their nose and mouth while spraying. So the grains must be properly washed also before they are consumed, because sometimes the weedicides get stuck to the grains or the plants. So there are various research works done by the agricultural scientists to safeguard or to kill the weeds. Various methods are adopted. For example, insects that attack only specific weeds are used to control weeds. So here you see some insects are introduced in the field which do not harm the crop but only harm or eat away the weeds. So here you see the harmful chemicals are not sprayed and the insects do not damage the crop. Instead you see the farmers get benefited by a natural way of getting rid of the weeds. So these are also done. So there are some other ways of crop protection also. So sometimes see the crops are damaged by insect and pest. So some insect, fungus, pest, they damage the crop. Now how can this farmer get rid of these insects and pest or fungus? Now they usually spray insecticide and pesticide respectively to get rid of insects and pest. They also spray fungicide to get rid of fungus. Now some of the pesticides are DDT and BHC. So what do you mean by DDT? Dichloro, diphenyl, trichloro, dichloroethane. Dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane. And BHC is benzene hexachloride, which is also known as gamaxine. These are very dangerous poisonous, okay, insecticides or pesticides. Now there is another fungicide that is used by the farmer, that is copper sulfate, that protect the plants from different type of fungal diseases. Okay, so these are about weeding. Now there are specific weeds which are very commonly seen in our Indian fields, that are amaranthus. Okay, then wild oat, grass is a very common weed. You can see dozens of weeds. Okay, you may not know their names, but you have seen weeds everywhere growing here and there. Arsinospodium, there are so many weeds. Next topic that I was telling you, I will describe is harvesting. Now this crop is grown fully, they are mature, the farmer is ready to gather and cut it. Okay, now this process of cutting and gathering the crop from the field is called harvesting. Now harvesting has two seasons, Rabi season and Kharif season, you know. Rabi crops are harvested during March, April, and like wheat is a Rabi crop. And the Kharif crops, generally paddy, that is rice, this is harvested in September and October. Now in India, harvesting is done by two basic tools. Generally traditional tool, that is a sickle. You have seen sickle, I hope, those who have visited villages. And a modern tool for harvesting is a harvester. It's a machine, right? Now this machine harvester is attached to a tractor. Now you see, this is a harvesting of general crops. Now in case of grain crops or pulses, like cereals and pulses, after harvesting, there is a lot of work for the farmer to do, that is threshing and winnowing. But in like perishable food like cabbages and vegetable crops, in that cases threshing and winnowing is not required. But in dry grain crops like cereals and pulses, threshing is also done after harvesting and thereafter winnowing is done. So that I will be describing about the threshing and winnowing part, the next subtopic. So next topic, that is threshing. As I told you, threshing is done for grain crops or cereals and pulses. Now threshing is the process of separating the grain from the harvested crop. It is done manually by striking the harvested crop against a hard surface, or it can be done with the help of a combine machine. So traditionally a thresher is used for threshing, and a modern method of threshing is a combine. Okay. Next, after threshing, winnowing is done. Now winnowing means separating the grain from the chaff with the help of wind. So what happens actually in this process, the threshed crop is dropped, okay, on the ground from a height. So what happens, the heavier seed fall almost vertically down in the ground, and the lighter chaff then gets blown away by the wind and falls at a distance. So from there it is collected. So after some harvesting, you see sometimes some stubs are left in the field which are burned by the farmer. But these burning of the stubs are very harmful for the environment. Every year you hear in Delhi region and many parts of our country, there is an air pollution, problem of air pollution during the winter because of the harvesting and this burning of these stubs in the before the onset of the winter season. Okay, so generally this causes pollution. So damage, so this should be prevented. It can be made into compost, so in spite of burning. Next, after winnowing is done, the freshly harvested crop grain contain lot of moisture. Clear? Now this moisture may damage the crop grain, and it will help in the growth of the microbes. So many bacteria and fungus can grow in the grains that have moisture. So that is the reason why the drying is done. So drying is done, okay, in order to avoid spoilage of the grain. Otherwise, the moisture present in the grain will spoil the grain because of the growth of microbes bacteria, fungus. Okay. So the moisture actually promote the growth of this type of microbes. So hence before storing, the product, that is the crop grain, is dried properly and then it is stored. Now storage is done by various ways. Large scale storage and small scale storage. Large scale storage is done in the granaries. Now in the granaries, these crop grains are stored in the gunny bags or in the sacks. Sometimes it is also stored in large scale in silos. Now what are silos? Silos are large metallic bins in which the crops are stored, grains are stored. Now these silos and granaries are protected from various type of animals like rats and insects, because they often visit these granaries if they find any loophole and they eat away the crop grain and destroy it. So these type of animals and insects are they are restricted. The crop is protected from them by chemical treatment. And how it is done? It is done by time to time periodical inspection. So time to time periodically the granaries are inspected so that they ensure that the crops are not attacked by rodents, insects or any other microbes. Okay. So the extra stock, now the crop grain is not eaten away in a single day or in a single month. So large scale storage is done for the year. Okay. So now this large scale storage of the crop is called buffer stock. It is also always maintained so that the grains are available in plenty even if there is a less produce in the next year. Clear? So this is about crop production and their management practices, means storage. I have told you today irrigation, weeding, harvesting, threshing and storage. Okay. Now how can this crop production be increased? Crop production can be increased by following ways. Number 1, introducing high yielding variety of crop grains, that is the seed variety should be good. Second, developing high yielding as well as disease resistant variety crop grain. That means the selection of seeds should be done in such a way that the crop grain are not always infected by any disease, pest or insect. Thirdly, developing of early mature variety of crop, means the crop grain should mature very early. Okay, maturity time should be very less. Fourth is improving the quality of the crop grain. That means quality. So you see, I told you that large scale storage of the grain is done in the gunny bags or the granaries, in silos or in sacks or gunny bags. They are inspected often so that the farmer will be assured that the crops are not attacked by rodents, insects or microbes. Now you see, the extra stock that I told you, that is the buffer stock, is always maintained so that grains are available in plenty to the society. Okay, so that if the next year the produce is less, even then the plenty of crops will be available. Now, how can crop improvement be done? There are various methods of crop improvement. First is introducing high yielding variety of crop, means the yield of the crop variety should be high. Okay. So second is disease resistant variety of crop should be grown. That is the seeds are selected in such a way that the plant do not get infected by pest or disease. Fourth is early maturing variety crop. That means the maturity time should be less so that in a field more than one type of crop can be grown in a year. Fourth is quality of crop should be good. Quality means suppose high protein enriched pulses, high starch yielding cereal crops. So this type of improved variety of crop. Okay, so this can be done by some scientific techniques, that is hybridization. Hybridization means it is the development of crossbreed variety. Crossbreed variety means two different high yielding variety of crops having two different good characteristics are selected, and these plants are hybridized or they are crossed, so that the new plant produced from these two plants contain the both quality. For example, I am showing you one example of this hybridization. Suppose this is a plant A, this is a plant B. Okay, now this plant A has, suppose, disease resistant variety. This plant is resistant to disease, and this plant B, suppose, yields good crop. That means their maturity duration is less, and might be, this is frost prevented. So there are various other characteristics. So if these A and B are bred, okay, genetically bred, the third variety which is produced from these two variety contain both the qualities of the A, okay, as well as the B. So this is what about hybridization means. The plant produced C will having both the characteristics of A and B. So this is hybridization technique. So in our country, even in throughout the world, various hybridized crops are grown. Nowadays, you know, hybrid, even in animal husbandry, hybrid variety of animals are produced. So animal husbandry is a different topic that I will be describing you in the next video in details. You can go through it for learning about animal husbandry. So this hybridization technique and the implementation of various type of GM crops, that is genetically modified crops, okay, it was done by a pioneer scientist. Now before going to that, I want to tell you about something very important about harvest festivals. Now in India, after harvesting, the farmers generally, you know, India is an agricultural country. Most of the population of the country is involved with agricultural occupations. Now we have various type of agricultural harvest festivals throughout the country. Like in our state, West Bengal, we celebrate Nabanno, okay, Makar Sankranti, then Bihu in Assam, then Diwali is there. So many harvest festivals, Pongal in Tamil Nadu. Okay, so there are various harvest festivals which are celebrated with great pomp throughout the country. So you see here, I will tell you one small topic, that is Green Revolution. So Green Revolution was initiated in India by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. He brought Green Revolution in India, and after his involvement in 1960 to 1980, he worked a lot for agricultural improvement, and in India the crop production increased in a high rate. So this is about